I'm muted. I did the thing. Oh my gosh. I just did a whole intro. We are back in good, we are just back in good old, man, just show up. First thing I do is have my mic muted. We are doing fabulous. We are just such professionals here all the time. Hello, Insider. I did see Luke Firewalker, and hello, Microbialism. Hello, Brian. How are you all doing today? I hope you're having yourselves a good Sunday. Probably doing better than me because I am incapable of running a stream appropriately. I do this, to be fair, I do actually do this a lot because I help Christy Winters and Chrissy stream their D&D thing once a week. So it's not, and I well, no, I don't stream it, and I do things too. So it's not like I'm out of practice or anything. Fucking camera. Okay, everything's different office, I think, from the last time, probably from the last time you all saw me. Different office, different room, camera's in a weird spot, everything's kind of weird. We're just gonna plow our way through this, right? That's the plan. We're just gonna plow our way through, and in 2 hours I'm gonna be hopefully too drunk to care, and we'll just talk about nonsense and just it's fine. So I'm getting distracted because we'll talk about the depressing things first, but let's talk about the fun things. If you follow me on Twitter, you have probably seen that there is a new member to the R&D family. This is Edge, or at least that's what I'm calling him right now. He's a tiny little black kitten who has a lot of energy. He is adorable, and I love him so much already. He already fell asleep on me this morning. He is wonderful. He has yet to meet Emma or Hobbs because he's supposed to be quarantined for a little bit before I can actually I'm supposed to quarantine him before I introduce. It probably isn't going to last very long because both Emma and Hobbs are super curious about this cute little guy. But hopefully he'll come up here at some point and we can get a closer look. He's adorable. So that's the good news. The other good news is I'm back, I think. At least we'll see how this works. I have been missing streaming and being in charge of the show and stuff, so it's good to be back. How much content I have, I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll see how things go. We'll see how things happen. So yeah, that's it. Things have changed. Like I said, a lot of stuff has changed. We're gonna go straight to housekeeping. I have things, don't I? We'll go straight to housekeeping because a lot has changed over the last the year. Is it a year? I think it's been a year. That's so rough. That's so rough to hear. It's been over a year. A lot has changed. Not in my life, in the world, everything has changed. Everything's different. So we'll kind of plow through some of those. Edge's voice, I was locked in the office for days, but I'm all right because I still got food and things to play with. Yes. So I'll talk about Edge's voice. Edge's voice is great. So yes, a lot has changed in the last year and a half. Since I was last on stream. I have been doing things, like I said, I do D&D with Christy Winters and Christiosity on Saturdays and Microbloganism. So if you want to kind of keep up with that nonsense, then that's the place to go watch if you want to listen to me DM and play D&D. If you want to do whatever this show is about, this is the place to do it. So we're going to keep up with that. But yeah, things are different. I'm still in Nebraska. I'm still in my same apartment. Everything's more or less the same. My office moved. I now have this room as my office because my old office got taken over by the one and only Awkward Pastas, who moved in with me. She is my roommate, so she lives in my old office, and I live in my room and this office. So that's cool, which also means one of the highlights of being roommates with Awkward Pasta is that you get to see Microbloganism when he shows up at your apartment. So that's kind of cool. So I did get to hang out, spend a couple of weeks with Microbloganism. Mostly Pasta spend time with him, but I did get to hang out. So he was here last week and we were hanging out, went to breweries and shit. It was a good time. So that's been kind of a big change, is I now have a roommate. And I have little roommate and adult roommate. The other big change, which is the one that I'm really pushing to not talk about because it's difficult, and I haven't quite figured out the best way to talk about it yet, is I am separated from my wife, so I'm still married. That's a thing that I still am, but we're not living together, so it's just me and Awkward Pasta who live here. So that was a big change in my life that fairly recently happened, I think August. So that's been something that I'm working through. There's a lot to why that happened. People have been very supportive on Twitter and stuff, and my friends, so that's been good. But that's part of the reason why I've been gone for so long, is just having to deal with that. It's been a long road to getting to that spot where we separated. It's not something that was done out of anger or anything. There's a lot of sadness, but no ill will. So it was something that it took us a very long time to realize that that's what was needed to happen. So it wasn't something that just kind of occurred out of nowhere. So kind of the last time that you all saw me a year and a half ago was kind of when that process was starting. So it's been something that I've been going through for about a year and a half. And it finally came to a head last August, and now I've just kind of been doing my own thing. So I'm still in Nebraska. Still in my same job, still doing all that great nonsense and whatnots, and I just kind of live by myself with cats. Cats are really distracting. I'm gonna see again. We're gonna balance out the sadness by this little cute little fuck. Look at him go, little terror. I love him. Okay, so that's kind of more or less it for housekeeping. I do have a beer of the week, but I don't have a little poster for beer of the week because I literally just went to go buy it this morning because I am a professional. And so I do have one. We'll talk about it and see how it tastes. We'll put it in front of the camera, and I do have a glass, and we'll do the whole thing. So back up we go. Also, he doesn't pay housekeeping. He has pasta to do that. That is fair. I don't pay housekeeping. Pasta has been a really great roommate. Still getting kicked by kids. Always. I haven't had any... Oh, things that I haven't talked about. I haven't gotten hurt recently. I have gotten last March. It's almost been a year. Last March, I decided that the weather was nice enough for me to be like, I want to go ride my motorcycle to work in the morning. And there was ice on the road, so that ended real bad for me. So I ended up really messing up my knee. My left knee, and I was out of I still went to work, but I was out of commission for like 4 or 6 months where I couldn't work with kids. It was less than fun because I got to watch everyone else get beaten up, which is rough, but I got to not get beaten up, which was kind of nice. So yeah, that's fun facts. Otherwise, I haven't really gotten hurt at work lately, so that's cool. We should start a fundraiser for a cat cam. I really should. Look at him go. Okay, let's do this so we can go back to him because he is just having a blast down there. Okay, so beer of the week comes from Avery Brewing Company. I think we've done plenty of Avery's in the past. Avery is one of my favorite breweries. They're in Colorado, I believe Denver, if I remember right. And I'd probably find it on the thing if I tried hard enough. We have ourselves 8.2% alcohol, whiskey barrel aged stout, which is one of my honestly favorite things. They have a little blurb. Let's read the blurb together. He has like 3 computers in that room. Yeah. Brewed with Rocky Mountain water, malted barley, imported specialty malted barley, malted wheat, oats, hops, and yeast. Robust, stoic keeper. Ooh, okay. Well, that's a description. At least it's not as frou-frou as some of them are. So, let's pour us a glass. Ooh, I'm sorry, buddy. Edge got scared by the pouring. He'll get used to it. I'm very excited for Edge and Emma to meet. They really should kind of get started on that because they are hilarious. I do have 3 computers in this room. You are not wrong. I have my laptops on the floor somewhere. I have an extra desktop on this desk, and then the one that I'm streaming from. So there's a lot of things going on here. So that was a pretty good pour. Nice and dark. Just like my soul. I don't know. That's unnecessarily edgy. Which is why we called him Edge. I was going to talk about that. Let's go back to Edge because he is adorable. Look at him go. Little fierce guy go. So earlier we made the joke about Edge's voice. So Edge is a character that I made for D&D for a little one shot. And his whole thing was he's a tabaxi, which is a cat. He's a black tabaxi, black cat. who's a rogue, and his whole thing was I was gonna at first just like be as edgy as I could, like come up with like the edgiest backstory, like, you know, Batman, my parents were killed by a mugger in the street, just to like make fun of the trope. And then I decided the best way to make fun of that trope is to just turn it on its head. And so Edge was extremely edgy, but for a lot of like things that really weren't that edgy. So his backstory, and he had a really great voice, which is hard to do, and maybe I can find Micro's comment here in a second about how to say an Edge's voice. So Edge talks like this all the time, and it's really hard to keep up for like a 2-hour-long session. It takes a bit. It takes a bit of energy, and you're like, all the time. But as he said, one of the other players said, "Oh, you're going to talk like that the whole time?" And I said, "Yeah." And I talked about like why his voice, and my voice is like this because there was a fire in my house. It was very toasty. My dad and I were making marshmallows, and I ate one while it was still hot. It burned my throat. And that was Edge's backstory. That's how Edge got his voice. And so the rest of the time was him just telling these tragic stories that weren't actually all that tragic. It was just minor inconveniences for Edge. And so when it comes to Edge here now, that's why Edge is kind of sticking as a name for the cat, because he's a black cat who's got way too much energy, and it's just a hilarious thing to call him Edge. So that's where Edge comes from. So in Edge's voice, I was locked in the office for days, but it was alright because I still got food and things to play with. So yes, that's more or less how it works. Thank you. I do have nice purple hair. So Pasta did this hair for me last Wednesday. So my hair has changed a whole lot. I was looking at pictures from like a couple of years ago when I had short hair. So one, my hair is long, as you can clearly tell. My hair is long, but it's only long on one side. The other side is legit like shaved off. It's usually a little bit shorter. I just haven't shaved in like a month and a half. And then Pasta colored the tips of it purple. So now I have half long hair, purple hair. Which is cool. I like it. It's been a good change. I tried the beer without saying I was going to try the beer. That is not as sweet as I thought I was hoping for. I'm not that all like whiskey barrel aged beer needs to be sweet, but that's really not sweet. It's got a lot of bitterness to it. So okay. It's not a bad beer. And I might need to sit here and try it out for a little bit before I kind of doom it to not be. Come here, bud. In case Nilsey, since you weren't here early enough to figure out why there was a camera on my shoulder. Oh, he found another toy. There is a new member to the R&D family, so he is on the floor, and we were paying more attention to him than anything else because that's what we do. But yes, dye your hair. It's fun. I really like it. I think it suits me. When I bleached it, or when Pasta bleached it, it actually looked really cool to just have like blonde hair from like this part down. I thought that was cool. So if I ever get tired of the purple and I decide that purple is just not going to be my thing anymore, we are going to change it up to just blonde. So here he is, the cat of the hour. Look at this little tiny cutie. He is just the lovableest thing ever. He is adorable. He is purring right now. He is currently purring so fucking loud. Like he is just. I got him. And I went to go see him. There was another cat that I actually went to go see. Her name was Scream Cheese, which I was like, fuck yeah, Scream Cheese, great name, fantastic name for a cat. And then as soon as I got there, the lady in front of me was actually adopting Scream Cheese, so she was kind of taken, and that was fine. Like, you know, I'm sure that she found a good home and whatnots and all that jazz. But I was kind of like, looking through the pile of cats, and there was a literal pile of cats, which was honestly one of the best experiences of my life, is to like go be in a pile of cats and find the cat that I wanted to take home. And I picked up Edge, and he just started purring. He's just such a purry little boy. And so that's how he ended up with me. So now I have a third cat. I have a lot of cats now. Hobbs and Emma are still around. You probably won't get to see them because Edge is being quarantined in my office, and so he's kind of have to stay here away from the other two cats for a little bit before everyone can see him. And so until then, he'll just kind of be on his own. So yeah, unfortunately, you won't get to see Hobbs and Emma, but they're still around. doing their thing. So yes, so I think that's most of housekeeping. Feel free to ask me any questions about how things have been going and what has changed. I have tried to keep up as best I can with what happens on the internet, which is a lot all the time. So I don't know if I have kept up with it as well as I should. Hi, bud. I know you want attention. You need all the love. Yes, knock everything around, buddy. So I did disconnect the camera because honestly, at some point, this camera is just gonna have to like be on the floor so that we can all focus on the cat because he's way better. Oh right. He's way better to pay attention to than me. Look at this little asshole. He's so cute. So with all of that said, we do have some videos, but I don't have a video menu per se. I do have, I have the old video menu, but so many things, and honestly, so many things that are outdated. So I picked out 3 videos because again, I wasn't sure who was going to show up here. So I have what seems to be a fairly recent stream by Jaronism. That's like a response to like a really old video by Holy Kool-Aid that's like 10 questions that not an atheist, a flat earther can't answer, something like that. And it's his response to it or something in that area. It looks silly because Jaronism, right? And then the other one is from this it's from this YouTube channel called 21 Studios or something like that, which is like a super conservative pickup artist, MGTOW kind of dealio. And they have this woman who, I guess they do a conference every year called 21 Conference or 21 oh, fuck. Bud, you have claws. I know you want all the love. And so they do like a Conference 21 or something like that every year. And this year they did like a Conference 22. Oh, I got food. The Conference 22, which was like a conference for women. So this is like a bunch of MGTOWs and pickup artists who decided to organize a conference for women. So it's a bunch of men organizing a conference for women. Fantastic stuff, right? Just the best content ever to do that. And so we have them as well. We have one of their speakers who's a woman talking about how feminism has ruined men and all that jazz. So we can go down that route. And then the last video option that I have is the PragerU kids video marathon. So it's I'm not sure if you all knew, but PragerU has like a kids channel now or kids related content, and it's like for kids and teachers. It's propaganda. More propaganda than PragerU already was. Like PragerU, 100%. Stop knocking everything over, buddy. Propaganda was already just, it's what they have. So those are kind of our options. Do I remember how to do things? So I know somewhere in here I can, and can I do it though? I used to be able to do polls. I might not be able to because I don't know how to work this thing no more. Can I do polls? Can I do polls through here? How do I do polls? How do I do things? Goodness gracious. Hi, buddy. Oh my goodness. And then Hobbs or Emma are now at the door. Oh no, it's Pasta at the door with food. And I have a cat and just everybody here. It's great. It's good. It's good stuff. Thank you. Everyone's here. There's a dog here, I think.
Yeah, she's upset with me.
She's upset. Pumpkin's also a thing that exists in my life.
It's okay. I'm here.
Yes, everything's a mess. So, because I don't remember how to do the polls, I'm sure I could. I don't know how. Because I don't remember. Let's just put it in the chat. So, 1 for Jaronism, 2 for MGTOW women, 3 for PragerU kids shows. I don't know. Do some voting. Do the things. And decide what kind of nonsense you feel like dealing with today. It's great. PragerU would be a hey. Oh no, PragerU would definitely be a hey watch. Like I watched a little bit of it, and it sounds just god awful. Because it always is. Ooh, MGTOW women. Okay, so we got some MGTOW. How do I do this? There was a way to do this. I remember there being a way. One of these days, I will remember. Like I will eventually be like, oh yeah, that's how we do all of this stuff. Oh, hi. Oh, buddy. You can't just, I know, you want to walk around and knock everything over because that's just what you want to do because you're a kitten. You're like, everything that's not attached to something needs to be knocked over just so that we can test out gravity, which, hey, better than most flat earthers, so good on you. Testing out gravity on a constant basis. Oh no, you can't do it there. Oh no. Oh, so many things. Hi, bud. Yes, yes, on the keyboard. That's where we belong. What are the options? Oh gosh. Hashtag vote for one. Oh, it's on hashtag. It's upside down eye. Upside down eye. Oh, I'm remembering all my things. Oh, it's all coming back to me like horror. Flat Earth, one. MGTOW Women, two. PragerU Nonsense, three. You did a voting with the Streamlabs bot. I did do it with a Streamlabs bot. Where is that bot? Oh my god. Cat, I love you. You're annoying. You gotta give me a second, buddy. You gotta give me a second. I know. He's so happy. He's such a happy boy. You just need to be in everyone's face. You want to be in all my space, huh? Yes, you do. Oh, you're so cute. He's so needy right now. He's such a needy boy. I don't know what made me think that. Well, okay, I know what made me think that today was a good day to do this is because typically I don't like I wasn't planning on getting him, and then I looked at the website for the local humane society, the Rescue Humane Society, and they had Scream Cheese, and his name was Orca, Scream Chips and Orca, and I was like, okay, well, with that kind of thing, then we gotta go check him out, and then and then exactly what we thought happened. I fell in love because he's a cutie, and so now we're balancing things. Okay, so things have changed, things have moved, and that's okay. So far, I think number 3 is gonna win. So we'll start with that, and we can always change things up. 3 has won. Hedge has stepped on everything. To you too, buddy. Why are you screaming at me? There's no need. You don't need to scream. That's unnecessary. Oh, hi. That's very unnecessary. Your screaming is so unnecessary. I know. Okay, up we go. I know, you want love. You want all the love. Okay, PragerU is going to win. Let's see if I have set this up.
Hi, everybody. It's Jill.
Oh, that is loud. You are so loud, lady. Why are you so loud? Who said that you could be that loud? Oh my goodness. Honestly, this does make it worse to have like a cat kind of tackling on to everything. There we go. There's our lady. So she'll introduce herself, tell us her name. Hopefully everything gets picked up. We'll see how we go. Okay, so. And we can go back to Flat Earth Nonsense later, because honestly, Flat Earth Nonsense is always a good palate cleanser. Like, I'm sure that after this nonsense, we're gonna need a good palate cleanser. So, okay, here we go. Gosh, oh gosh, I have a cat, and he is very desperate for attention.
From PragerU Kids, welcome to our
PragerU
marathon.
Kids.
We've got
Ooh,
all
whole
your
marathon.
favorite PragerU Kids shows.
It's like an hour, and we don't
here,
honestly
right
have to
now.
watch an hour's worth of things, but it is like an hour long. Oh, and a fork. Thank you. So Otto's Tales. This is great. This is great. I just the everything. I don't. They're trying so hard. Like, when I was in college, I did this whole class on like not propaganda. No, on propaganda. On like an advertising and how like advertising works. One of my favorite things that we learned about is how shows like Sesame Street, and then later on Dora the Explorer, and then finally like Blue's Clues really nailed down like talking to children and whatnots. So you'll notice like kind of that they stick to like rather simple concepts about things, because children, right? You can't like go super complex with it. And 2, there's a lot of repetition, which is fine for kids shows. I'm sure at this point we're just not going to we're gonna get none of that, and it's just gonna be ridiculousness. So far, look at this guy. He's so funny. He's gonna pull a practical joke on somebody. Is Dennis recovering from COVID? I don't know. Oh yeah, he did have COVID, didn't COVID. What was that? What did I just see about COVID that really pissed me off? Something, probably. Oh yeah, there was that tweet about oh, now I remember everything now. Everything comes through me. There was that tweet about like people in Europe somewhere that are like knocking down barriers because they have to they can't go shopping and stuff. So that's fun. Yeah, that's great. By the way, if you haven't gotten vaccinated, you should do that. I doubt anyone here would not get vaccinated. I got my booster like a couple of weeks ago. It was awful. It kicked my ass. It like died. But honestly, the second dose also almost killed me. So I wasn't too surprised that the booster also killed me. Yeah, I died for like a day, and it hit me right away, like right off the bat. After I got it, I got into the parking lot, and I was immediately like sweating and shivering. Oh, it was bad. It was a bad day. And then I was fine. Like it's also really funny because like I died for like 24 hours. I was dying, and then as soon as it was done, like it was done. I felt like nothing had happened to me. It was hilarious. Pasta got her second shot while she was not too long ago, and she was fine. She like nothing happened to her, and I swear I was so mad because she was just like, whatever, it's fine. And there's been quite a few people that I know that are just like, I was just tired, but no, me, it kicked my butt. Whatever. Yeah, I had my flu shot too. Nothing. Yeah, my flu shot was fine this year. Like it really wasn't a big deal at all. It just I don't even think I was sore. Usually like my arm will get sore or something like that, but no, I was perfectly okay. All right, let's go back to this dog, this weird ass dog doing weird ass dog things, because you know all dogs are funny. I know, buddy. I know you want all the love.
Hi, sorry I'm late.
Oh, she farted. That's so funny, kids.
Otto?
Oh.
Were you trying to teach me a lesson about being late?
What?
Yes, well.
What? Don't be late, or you'll get a whoopee cushion. That's how lessons work. So a lot of their stuff is very from what I've seen, because I did watch a little bit of this. A lot of their stories and videos are very much like lesson focused. Like you need to get something out of this, right? You can't just have a good story. And they fail in so many ways because they're very preachy. Like you shouldn't be with kids shows. Like learn from VeggieTales, goddammit. VeggieTales did it right. They were preachy and in a way that like if you were secular, it didn't come off as preachy. Like I enjoyed VeggieTales. I'm pretty sure I'd even enjoy VeggieTales now. Like they were funny. And I didn't even realize it was like Bible stuff until much later in life. He's gonna fall asleep here, and I'm gonna be trapped here for the rest of my life. Oh, buddy. Oh, buddy. Okay, here we go.
You're right. I shouldn't have been late, but I'm here now. Welcome to Otto's Tales. Storytime brought to you by Prep. PragerU's resources for educators and parents.
Oh gosh.
Jill.
Resources for education. Oh. Just call it what it is. It's propaganda. Children propaganda. Love it, love it, love it.
And today, I'm going to share an old legend from England about a king who, well, learned another kind of great big lesson.
Oh, no.
It's called King
Oh,
Alfred
I remember why this
and
one
the
pissed me off.
Cakes. Once upon a time, many years ago,
there's Otto.
there was
Look at that.
a powerful king named Alfred. He was wise. He was strong. He was one of the best.
I really like. So, damn it! I'm just throwing my keyboard at this point. Like I'm really curious as to like whether these stories are genuinely based off of any like folklore or anything. Because they say that a lot. Like earlier, one of the other episodes that I saw, they said it was a folk story from like South Africa or something like that, like in some African country. I don't remember which one. And they showed it, and I was really curious. Is that really is that really a story? Which country? This one I think he said it was English story. We'll go back a little bit because going back is
about being late.
Oh.
Yes, well, you're
funny.
PragerU's resource. It's called King Alfred and the Cakes.
King Alfred and the Cakes. And it's from where?
King who, well...
Let's go back. Oh my goodness. I want to know what country this is from.
I'm Jill, and today I'm going to share an old legend from England about a king.
An old legend from England about a King Alfred and the Cakes. I kind of want to look that up. Is there a legend about King Alfred and the Cakes? Let's find out. Is there? Oh, I dropped my keyboard and I have a cat on me. I can't look it up. Okay. We're going to be super professional and look it up on my phone because, reasons. Let's see. Look up King Alfred and the Cakes. I get a feeling that the only thing that's going to pop up is PragerU stuff. Because what else? Oh no. Look up King Alfred and the Cakes. You want to grab me a keyboard that fell on the floor?
Yeah. I'm watching the stream, so just.
Ha ha ha. Oh, there is an Anglo-Saxon story. Okay. So I wonder. So there is a YouTube video. Maybe we can find the YouTube video on it and watch like the actual one. It's also 10 minutes, so we're never gonna finish it. So there is actually King Alfred and the Cakes like story somewhere. Okay, that's good to know. We'll have to see if we can actually find it later on and see how much do we think it actually stuck to reality. I don't know. So here's King Alfred. There's Otto.
There was a powerful king named Alfred. He was wise. He was strong. He was one of the best kings England ever had.
Oh.
But there was trouble in King Alfred's kingdom.
Yes.
The land was invaded by another army from across the sea. They
Oh,
fought
no.
and they fought and they fought. King Alfred didn't want to lose his kingdom, but his army struggled, was broken apart, and scattered across the land,
Yes.
unable to defeat their enemy. Because they lost, King
No.
Alfred had to escape and disguise himself as a shepherd so
Alfred the Unready? Is that what the story is about, King Alfred? See, now I'm curious. We're gonna finish this because the lesson I think is hilarious.
no one would find him, and he could hide. He wandered through.
So far, King Alfred, was it the Vikings? Probably the Vikings, honestly. Vikings are always the bad guys. King Alfred, his armies, he did terrible at his job. I don't know if he did terrible, like his armies got defeated, so I'm saying he did terrible at his job because that's like the whatchamacallit, that's the moral of the story is do your job, but I don't think Vikings do rule, but they're also always the bad guys. Like I think that's the moral of the story later on is that you need to do your job all the time. And so for now, plot line is King Alfred got defeated by a bunch of Vikings because reasons. She doesn't actually give reasons, just he got defeated.
Through woods and swamps. Soon, he came upon a hut that belonged to a woodcutter and his wife. Tired and very hungry, King Alfred knocked on the door. He asked for something to eat. The woodcutter's wife said, "Come in," and had no idea who he was.
Oh,
She
no
told
idea.
him, "I'll give you something to eat if you will watch these cakes I'm baking on my stove. Watch them carefully and don't let them burn," she said.
Okay. The president believes in ritual cannibalism? Yeah, probably someone does. How much of that opinions are you basing on me? All of the opinions on you. Oh, buddy, you're so cute. I wish you could all. I'm not sure if you can hear him, but he is very purry. He's purring so much. I'm gonna like my arm is gonna be stuck in this state forever, just never moving. He's so tiny. I know. I'm getting distracted. You were distracting me. Okay.
Said. The king agreed.
So we have a job, and this is I finished watching this one, which is why I'm pointing out the things that need to be pointed out. They have a job now. The job is he's got a job, which is to watch the cake. So eyes open on the cakes, watch them cakes. And that's going to be the moral of the story is that he spoiler alert, he doesn't watch the cakes.
And the woodcutter's wife left. King Alfred tried to pay attention to the cakes, but he allowed his mind to daydream. He thought about his army. He thought about his people. He wondered if he'd ever get back home to his land. King Alfred concentrated on his problems and forgot all about the cakes.
How dare he focus? So this is kind of funny. Okay, we gotta finish. Stop interrupting the story lady, because I like spoiler alert. He obviously fails, right? And the whole moral of the story is you got to pay attention to your job, no matter how big or small. That's the moral of the story. There, ruin the rest of the PragerU video, whatever. Either way, like, not to be that person, but like, it sounds like Vikings are taking over, which nobody likes. Nobody wants that shit. And King Alfred's like, oh no, they're probably pillaging my villages. I should probably get back to that. Even though he doesn't actually seem all that worried about. This is a very weird, like, I am worried about my people kind of pose to take. I don't think he's genuinely worried about his people. Like, he seems rather relaxed for a king in hiding, because he failed with his army. He's very relaxed. That's all.
Well, when the woodcutter's wife came back, the hut was filled with smoke,
Oh,
and her
no.
cakes were burned to a crisp.
Oh no.
King Alfred didn't even notice. You lazy person! She
You
yelled at King
lazy
Alfred.
person. I love that. Lazy person. I don't want to be like, but I do want to be like, because pregger you, right? They're very deliberate with like, call them lazy. Because you know, because you know why. Because they call anybody who anyone who's poor, they just call them lazy. That's what it is. But I guess this guy isn't poor, which might be the part of the story. I'm reading way too much into the like he's so God, to break this down into fucking conservative nonsense. Conservative mythos is that you are the reason that you become poor, or the reason that you are poor, is out of laziness, which I guess could really go for King Alfred over here, who lost all of his shit not because he was defeated in battle, but because he's lazy, which nobody told us why he was defeated in battle, so I'm not sure if you could really say that, but I think part of the reason that they chose that wording specifically was so that you could be like the reason that he is now not a king and he's just kind of a runaway person isn't because somebody took over his kingdom. It's because he's lazy, which is why he lost his fortune and all that. You know, it just feeds back into all that nonsense that we usually deal with when it comes to why people struggle in the U.S. or whatever. All right.
Alfred, look what you've done!
Look what you've
You wanted
done.
something to eat, but you didn't do what you said you'd do.
See, look at that. You wanted something to eat, but you didn't do your job. Pretty much. That's, oh gosh. Really? Like, they're not even subtle. I thought I was overreading it, but they're not really subtle about their the hate for poor people, which again, conservatives hate for poor people. Poor people, no. We don't like them. They need to stop being lazy.
And now none of us will have any supper. King Alfred was
no.
embarrassed and ashamed. Just then, the woodcutter came home, saw his wife yelling at King Alfred, and recognized that he really was the king. Stop yelling!
Oh no,
the
don't yell at
woodcutter
the
told his
king.
wife. This is our king. Now the wife was embarrassed and ashamed. She apologized.
You deserve to starve because you left my cake buns. Yeah, pretty much. You were gonna have cake for dinner? I think so. That must be, unless this is one of those weird you're not European, this weird British things where like cake means, I don't know, my full dinner. they rather than saying dinner, they just say cakes, like we're having cakes for dinner, and that just means like whole meal. I don't know. I know. Also, like I hope you weren't just gonna have cakes and you had other food. That's actually a really good point. Like, why doesn't anybody get, like, the cakes are, maybe she needed them to, I'm reading way too much into the story. Maybe she needed them to go buy dinner, but like, that seems like a tomorrow problem. Like, I don't know, like she's a baker, I guess, so maybe she needed to go sell them. And so now they're not going to have money for dinner because they're poor, because they're peasants in medieval times, and peasants make no goddamn money because the government takes all their money from them. R&D is a story for kids. They would love to eat cake for dinner. They would love to eat cake for dinner. Hi, bud. Oh, you're so cute. Oh my goodness, buddy.
Don't apologize.
Don't
the king told her.
apologize.
You were right to be upset. You gave me a job.
They are poor because they're
I
lazy.
accepted.
See? Oh, okay.
And then I didn't do the job I promised you I would do. I was not responsible, and anyone who accepts a responsibility, big or small, should do it faithfully and excellently.
Oh, this is about poor people. Oh no. This is 100% just blaming poor people for their misfortune. You're just lazy. Oh no. That's what it is. You're just lazy. Because if you have a job, you're like, oh god, there's so many layers to this. So first off, like he lost his job. Not because of any like things out of his control, right? But because he was lazy. He lost his job. He did a poor job, and he's like, no, I should take responsibility for my job. If I have a job, I should do it, right? Which entirely is a very PragerU way of ignoring all the societal issues about having a job. Not like there are so many problems with having a job that don't involve people being lazy. Transportation, especially in a country which does not promote, has a very car centric infrastructure. So if you don't own a car in the US, getting a job anywhere, super difficult. Like getting to a job, I should say, because walking to it probably not going to happen, right? So problem number one. Daycare, not having daycare for kiddos, having a crappy pay and all this stuff, right? They're pretty much saying none of that stuff exists. The only reason that you're losing your job, even if you're a king, is because you didn't do your job correctly. So it's also got this very much so meritocracy thing going for it, where like the only reason that you would lose your job or you might have problems is because your work doesn't have enough merit, right? It's not good enough, or you didn't do a good enough job. It's not because of all these other issues, sexism, racism, transphobia, all these other issues that you might lose a job, including the social issues that we just talked about. None of that matters. What really matters is that you were lazy, and that's why you lost your job, king. Which is probably why they didn't talk about how he lost his how he lost the battle and ended up being not the king, because I want to find out what the original story said, and he probably got outsmarted rather than being lazy. Unless he was lazy this whole time as a king, which really speaks a whole lot about being kings. Like, why are you being lazy? It's a weird story. I want to listen to the real one, but we're probably not going to do that tonight.
Even if they...
And now she has a dog. Yes, she did feed her dog the cakes, the burnt cakes. It probably had garlic in it, so it's probably dead. But that's Otto. I think Otto, the dog, is like a time traveling dog. He's like a quantum leap dude. He just like leaps to these stories and is there for them. So that he can be like the POV. It's garlic bread. It's garlic bread pasta. The dog ate garlic bread. That's an inside joke in my household. So Pasta has a dog, most hideous little creature in the world, called Pumpkin. Just the worst. And I've been trying to train Pumpkin to every time that I go give her a treat, I call it garlic bread, just to fuck with Pasta, and it's hilarious. So really funny. I give Pumpkin garlic bread all the time. It's great. So that's that story. Entirely tangential, which, hey, welcome back to this show. Tangents, what are those? Never met her. Here we go.
Are a king.
There he is. Look at that, eating the garlic bread.
The king thanked them for their hospitality and then left. Soon after, he found his army again and won his kingdom back.
What did he do? Like, what lesson did he learn? Like, I want to know what lesson this king, like, was this king... Ah, God, you're terrible storytellers, Prigger, you, which is not at all surprising. Yes, it's no longer an inside joke. It's now an outside joke, and everybody knows it. So every time I say that I'm going to give Pumpkin garlic bread, you know what I'm doing. Buddy, you were better off sitting down. What are you doing? Oh, pick a spot. So this is really terrible storytelling, because like the lesson that I think the king was supposed to learn is that not to be lazy. But I don't think the king was lazy to begin with. Like, I don't think that was his problem. Or maybe it was, and they didn't say. I don't know. I am very confused about this. He lost the war because he misplaced. Maybe he was just like too lazy, and like his mind wandered off, and he didn't know where his army went, and that's why he lost the war. Like, I don't know how. There's no connection between how he lost the war, the lesson that he learned, and how he won the war. Like, zero connection. It's just not. They're not connected at all whatsoever. So that's a thing. So who knows why, but English major, everyone. Yes, me, all the time. All right, let's finish off with the lesson, because PragerU always has a good lesson for us.
The end.
The end.
We love this tale because it reminds us that no matter how small a job may seem, it is our duty to do that job well, because...
Oh God! Again, more minimum wage shit. Sorry, this is like 100% minimum wage shit. Like, this is 100% like, you were given a job, even if it's small, you should do it. Even if you get paid shit, you would do it because you promised you would do it. Stop quitting your jobs for better ones. I want to go to McDonald's. I love all those signs. I'm sure you've all seen them on the Twitters and whatnot. All those signs that people have been posting at like Wendy's and shit that are like, we are closed because everyone quit. And delicious stuff. I fucking love it. And so I feel like 100% a reaction to that, to the fact that people were like, no, I don't actually have to do this job. I can genuinely quit, or I can genuinely be like, hey, I don't want to do this because X reason or whatever, and you're not going to fire me because you're understaffed, right? Or whatever reason. And so I feel like this is just like 100% like reaction to this. Like, no, you promised you were going to do that job. You promised. You better go do it right now. It's 100% that. Like, you made a promise, so you got to go do it. You can't just quit. That is not allowed. It's improper in America.
Attention to little duties often prepares us to meet larger ones in the future. Doing a small job well means that you'll be ready for a bigger, more important job later.
Oh, yeah, no, this is 100% like, this is 100% minimum wage shit. Like, she's excusing minimum wage. Like, it's a little job now, but if you do well at it, you can move up the ranks and get a better pay. Oh, gosh. Prager, you are nonsense. That is her story. It is 100% her story. It's just suck it up at your crappy job, because you can move up the ladder and eventually have a good job, a good paying job. That's it. Just suck it up. Do your job. Don't quit. I want to go to McDonald's, Wendy's. I want to go to Wendy's. God, fucking conservatives. I swear to God, I can't with them anymore. I couldn't. So one of the things that has happened to me in the last year and a half, however fucking long I've been gone, is I've gotten less and less tolerant of nonsense, like less tolerant of nonsense. There was definitely a point where I was just like, oh yeah, no, nonsense. I can. What's the thing? Like, you don't have to like disagree with your you don't have to agree like 100% with everything, like with your friends, right? You can have disagreements, and I definitely bought that, like, hook, line, and sinker. Like, you don't have to be 100% in agreement with your friends and whatever. And I don't think I've like changed. Like, I think you can have disagreements, but I think the disagreements can't be to that big of a deal. So I'm having a bigger and bigger difficulty being friends with like conservative people. Like, it's so difficult, because like the chasm between what I believe and they believe has just, I don't know if it's gotten wider, or if I just noticed that it was this wide the whole time. I don't know. Like, either way, like, it's gotten, I've become more vocal, which has made me less popular around people. And I've also just kind of distanced myself from a lot of people that I used to spend time with, that are just like, oh, that's a funny racist joke, don't say that again. To like, no, we're not, that's super racist, buddy. Like, we're done. We're not doing that. And so I think I've changed my attitude quite a bit to be more towards the, like, that's super racist, let's not do that, and we're no longer friends kind of thing. So I don't know where that came from. Tangents, yay, us, we do it. In D&D history, there's inns and taverns all over the place, but the Dark Ages, Middle Europe, you just rolled up to someone's house and asked if you could stay the night, then did chores to pay. Hey, you know what? I should do that. I should remember that for D&D stuff, rather than having inns and shit. Also, speaking of D&D, because I'm going to plug this every time I can, because honestly, this campaign that I am running, I love it. I'm having so much fun running it. If you would like to enjoy some nonsense, I'm sure Micro or Awkward Pasta will put a link in the Twitch link in the chatty bits. On Tuesdays, which is in a couple days, on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Central Time, I run a D&D campaign that I've been running for almost 2 years, maybe more. I don't even remember anymore. Almost 2 years, which started off as this, like, I just want to run a few like dungeon crawls, and we'll crawl through some dungeons and kill the bad guy and solve some puzzles, and has just derailed itself to the point where now I am running Spelljammer from AD&D. I'm running that in 5e for my players, because we're in space. We are doing D&D in space because I wanted to, and it's been it's been fantastic. They have, my favorite part is that we have at this point they have had to role play sitting in line, sitting in traffic, and they do, honestly, they do great. They're role playing. Oh, they're so great at it. So go check it out because it's really good stuff. Oh yes, they had to go through Time Court. It's amazing. I've been having a lot of fun. You should come out. You should come watch it. It's either, I don't know if I think we moved it over to Twitch, but I don't actually know. It might still be on YouTube. But either way, check it out because we are having a really good time, and I am having a really good time running it. So go check it out and stuff. Okay, that's that. Let's finish off this lesson before we take our break because I would like to eat, and I was gonna be like, I need to go do a bathroom, but there's still a cat on me, so that's not gonna happen.
Leadership and responsibility go together, and in America, taking responsibility for our actions is a value we believe in, and that helps everybody. Now, are you...
So, again, funny ass shit about this is that it's PragerU, right? Is that it's PragerU. Super conservative nonsense. Do not, in any way, shape, or form, care about personal responsibility. That is one of the things. It's such a funny talking point by conservatives that they're like, personal responsibility, we care about that, unless it's our personal responsibility, right? Then they don't care. January 6th riots. Great example of not caring about personal responsibility. Even things like mask mandates. Like, that's why I remember this. There's a spot, right, where you had a small job. It's a really small job. Wear a fucking mask. Small job. I wear a mask for like 8 hours a day at work. Small job. And all you had to do was like take personal responsibility and do this small job, just like King Alfred. And they didn't. They couldn't. They were like, no, too much inconvenience. I cannot breathe. My personal rights. All that kind of nonsense. So it's definitely like take responsibility, just like Dennis, who took responsibility for catching COVID but not for spreading it. Yes. So I always find this shit funny. It's always hilarious because, again, conservatives every goddamn time they're like, take personal responsibility, but we're not going to take personal responsibility at all remotely for our actions. You take personal responsibility for your own actions. And honestly, it goes back to like even the being poor thing, the minimum wage thing that they were doing earlier, of like that narrative of that mythos, really, of like the reason that people are rich are because they're not lazy and they work, rather than the fact that their parents owned diamond mines in Africa. Emerald diamonds, I don't know, you know who I'm talking about. And so it's always like, take personal responsibility unless they're things that actually, unless it's us, then we're not going to take personal responsibility. So that's our lesson. Isn't that great? Fantastic. All right, so with that said, I am done with my beer, so I'm going to refill it. We're going to take a little break so that I can chow down on my food, and I can continue to pet my cat, and I can refill my beer and all that. Enjoy some royalty-free music and enjoy some fan art. And we will see you all in a little bit. Hello everyone, and we're back. Edge has decided to move like there he goes. Last minute he's like, no, I don't wanna be there no more. And has decided to move somewhere else. Where that is, I don't know, but he's no longer here. He's somewhere. Alright, so reading through some of the chats, yes, we did. I guess we technically did finish a video. I guess. Also, yes, I do wear glasses. I just usually wear contacts. And I do have way too many sunglasses for my own good, but I love sunglasses. They're a nice accessory to my life. Edge has gone back to playing with mice on the floor, so I'm just gonna let him do his thing down there. So does that mean we get boobs? Probably. Do I know how to trigger them? I don't know. Ooh. Maybe I do. Let's see if this works. And if this works, we will be good. Nope, that's not how that works at all. There's a way to do this. I know I've seen a way to do this. I've seen a way to do like half of these things. But nope. Fudge off. Fudge. This definitely, I feel like, used to be easier for me to do beforehand, and now has gotten less. Ooh, there's Cloudbot. Ah, there's Cloudbot. Hey, buddy. There he is. Okay, I know where he went. Cool beans. Okay, I know where he's at now. Okay, Cloudbot used to do a thing. Okay, so let's see. I feel like we usually roll. Oh, Jesus fuck, buddy. I feel like we usually roll the dice for this, but let's go with whoever says it's first. Test either subscribers or super chats. I don't remember which or which, but I know that those are the two. So whoever says it, whoever says the thing first will get the first pick of whatever comes up, I guess. Super chat or the other one. That's not a thing. Super chat. What was the other one? I forgot. Subscriber, was that the other one? Donation? I don't remember. We'll just hit this one. Go that one. What does it do? Does it do anything? Yay, it did a thing. Woo! Great job. We finished the video. Good job, all of you. That was incredibly difficult. Edge has decided that he is done playing with the mice and just wants to cuddle some more. So Cuddly little boy. Yay. Okay, so with that said, we have this was a marathon of videos, so it is actually like an hour long, which is really long. But we can, I think people did vote to go to Jeranism or MGTOW, so we're just gonna throw those two up there. 1, Jeranism and flat Earth nonsense. 2, MGTOW shit. So 1, 2, those are your options. Vote real quick, whichever one gets it. We'll watch that video. So it depends on what kind of nonsense you. Either way, it's gonna be nonsense. Literally, either way, it'll be nonsense all the way. So we got 1 for each so far. Oh, hello, buddy. Oh, you're so cute. There's so much purring going on. But MGTOW is. Oh no, we got a tie. I really got to figure out how Cloudbot used to be a thing. Modules, names, word protection, polls. There he is. I found him. Oh, yay! I just gotta make it. No, don't eat my headphones. That's a bad kitty. No headphone eating. That's bad. Stop. You're not allowed to eat those. No, that's bad. Hey, I know my fingers are tasty, but you are not allowed to eat those either. Okay, so far we got. Oh, we're really even on this. Really even on both of these. We have 3 for 3 so far, if I can do math correctly, which I think I can. So we have 3 for 3. So someone's gotta do that. He's licking my fingers, which is slightly painful, but also really adorable, so I don't want to stop him. Buddy. No garlic bread for you. You don't get garlic bread. Only Pumpkin gets garlic bread. So is Edge the final name? I don't know. I don't know if it is. Edge has just been the one that Pasta and I have been calling him here because it's just has caught on. So all of yesterday we pretty much called him Edge, and we've just been kind of doing that all the time. So I don't want to say that yes, but it is catching on as his name. So I think it might end up being his name. I just can't really find anything more suitable. Why are you eating my shirt? Don't eat my shirt. You're weirdo. So we'll see. Roll a die. Yeah, let's roll a die. Do I have a die handy? I should, but also I have a cat, which makes rolling a die difficult. We'll flip a coin. Heads, it's heads. We're gonna do Jeranism. Tails, we're gonna do MGTOW. So flip a coin.
You got heads.
Heads. We're gonna do Jeranism. All right, so we're gonna start with Jeranism. If we get tired of that shit, we'll switch it over because that's usually how we do. I know. House full of. Oh gosh. Goodness, stop. You are such a little terror. Who decided that you were a good idea? I don't know. I don't know who decided that you should live here. You're nothing but a little terror. No, stop.
Now, are you?
Not you. I want the new one. This one.
We have a problem.
There we go.
You know, I just don't find it impressive whenever anybody is out proving the globe, which has already technically been proven. It's the going, belief. It's the going truth. It's the going fact.
The going
so
fact.
I find it more impressive when people are out there trying to.
Stop. You are unnecessarily chaotic. Go find a hole to brood in or something. Leave my headphones alone. Okay. Yes. Edge is how have they reacted? They haven't met him yet. Emma, I think, really wants to meet Edge, but I've been kind of quarantining them. Because you're supposed to. I don't know if that's going to be I don't know how long that's going to be. I really want to introduce him to Emma real quick because Emma's been like really wanting to have a kitten, I think, and she's been very much so paying attention to the fact that there's a kitten in the house. So I do want to introduce them, but he did Friday got his surgery to get his balls removed because that's what we do in the States. And so there's a bit of danger with, not danger, but he probably shouldn't be interacting with other kitties and stuff. So I don't know. Maybe soon. I will definitely try to film it the first time they meet because I think that'll be cute. So we'll see. I think Hobbs will just not like him and just ignore him because that's what Hobbs does. Hobbs is very friendly to humans, but he's not very friendly to cats or other animals. He just kind of tolerates other animals. So, which is why you should let Hobbs and Emma sniff Edge's toys yet. So Edge, yeah, Edge has a couple of toys, and he hasn't actually, I haven't taken them outside this room yet. Like he hasn't even been here. Well, he might have been here 24 hours at that point. Like he's just been here. So, eventually we will get to the point where Edge and Hobbs get to meet and all that. But so far it's really just stop biting my headphones. So bad. So we'll see. I will definitely record it because I think it'll be adorable when he meets everybody. So I just don't know when that's going to happen. I always wanted to run a D&D campaign where all the PCs are bards, like a touring brand, except for their manager who's a rogue. That'd be kind of fun. Bard's just gonna be confused and way excited too. Yes, I'm sure that that's gonna. Honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if Pumpkin was just terrified of Edge, because like I'm surprised that dog has lived. Like even in a house, I'm surprised that dog has lived as long as she has. Like she's the most terrified thing in the world all the time. Oh, you're so cute, buddy. I know you just want to play with everything. Okay, back to I don't know what Jeranism's saying, but we'll get back to it.
Debunk the going truth. That's how you get closer to the truth. You don't get closer by doing the exact experiments that have been written in books for you to do, following certain parameters and calling certain.
Like I haven't kept up with flat Earth stuff because nothing has changed, right? It just hasn't. I know that it hasn't. I haven't kept up with it, and I know it hasn't changed. I know that their arguments are still like 100% the arguments that they had before. And to be honest, that time that that one movie, like Beyond the Edge or Beyond the Globe or whatever the fuck it was called, showed that they like Jeranism and crew were pretty much like hiding like I think that was a really good documentary, and I think it really did show like a lot of their nonsense and how a lot of their nonsense kind of went. Since then, like I really do know like their arguments are going to change. They're not bringing anything new to the table. It's just going to be the same nonsense. So this, I don't even know when this video is from, really kind of just shows that again, that nothing has changed. You got to do your experiments on you. Got to do your own research, buddy. That's my finger.
Things refraction and calling certain things whenever you
beyond beyond the curb. Yeah, it was a really fun movie. I really did enjoy it. Even things like some prominent flat earthers died. That changed. Oh, the prominent flat earthers died. I didn't know that. I know that like I've obviously kept up with things like Sly and Geisty, right? Like I kept up with that stuff. I didn't know flat earthers have died. Because they probably didn't come around my Twitter very often to let me know that they've passed away. But I do know the other ones who have they got COVID. Oh, okay. Really? Like I wanted to pretend to be surprised there for a second, but I honestly couldn't. What are you doing? Calm down. Oh no, that was gross. Yes. Rob Skiba is dead of COVID, and so has the Fokker guy. Huh. Wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know Rob Skiba died. That's insane. I'm not surprised at the end of the day. I am not surprised that any of them were anti-vaxxers or any of that. Like, that's well within the expectation of them. A 15 degree per hour drift. Thanks, Bob. Yes, Bob did a great service to the Not Flat Earth department with that comment, which again really does say a whole lot about the Flat Earth community. But yeah, since that documentary, I really haven't had like a whole lot of. They're not going to change. They're not going to say anything different. I'm pretty sure that Chuck Darwin is rotting in his grave around more than one axis. Yeah. Anti-vaxxers die of COVID. Yes, that is one of the things that I always see posted is like most of like the COVID deaths and most of the COVID like a huge not even by a little bit, like a huge amount of COVID deaths and COVID diagnoses go to anti-vaxxers, which is or unvaccinated people, and I'm like, yeah, like what do you expect? And then the funniest part, of course, is that anti-vaxxers are like, that seems weird that only anti-vaxxers are dying. Like, no shit. Like that's how it goes. There's a link for the anti-vaxxers, which has a list of anti-vaxxers that have died of COVID. Oh no! COVID-19 killed Marianne. I don't know Marianne. Am I supposed to know that one? Or is that a joke I don't get? It might be a joke I don't get. Hi, buddy. You're very distracting. I'm trying to do a thing here. I know. Okay, let's listen to a little bit more of this. Oh my god. You gotta let go of my fan, buddy.
All these answers, of course, you're going to come to those conclusions. You really need to step outside the box and check, is there a possible deception here? And when it comes to the flat earth, the answer is a resounding yes. It doesn't matter what space does. You have an army of trolls coming to make excuses for why they don't show cameras, or why they don't have adjustable or automatic camera focus on these cameras in space, and why they don't have a 24/7 footage, and why they've never gone back to the moon, and why we lost the tapes. Imagine we lost the tapes of the greatest enterprise, the greatest thing humans have ever done, and people make excuses for it. Well, they got a lot of tapes, it's real difficult to keep track of all those, and I could see them, it's 13,000 tapes and 700 boxes that are just lost. It's just ridiculous. Why would anybody make an excuse for them? It's just ridiculous.
20 questions.
So yes, I do love the fact that trolls are the ones who make excuses rather than the fact that like there are reasonable explanations for their the things that they say. So like that's it. Like they're just reasonable explanations. I did see what was now that Pasta has made that joke. What is the one that I saw? Oh yes. So what is it like? What percent of the surf? Like what 75-80% of the Earth's surface is covered in uncarbonated water. Therefore, the Earth is flat. Ha ha ha! It's not carbonated. I'm gonna not tell Tara. But why are you biting me? What is your issue today, you little bat? Okay.
That flat earthers can't answer.
As a child, I attended a show where a magician sawed a woman in half. Not knowing how this mechanism worked, I leapt to the conclusion that it had to be some kind of spiritual, mystical force of magic.
Yes.
It was a false conclusion that intuitively seemed correct, but brought with it a host of other problems, assumptions, and
I mean, there is CO2 dissolved in seawater, yeah, but it's flat. It's not carbonated. That's the difference. I'm sure there's CO2 in my water, too. It's a terrible joke. It's okay.
unanswered questions. If you lack scientific literacy, it's easy to postulate far-fetched alternative explanations for how the universe works. They seem intuitive, but as with the magician, they bring with them a host of other problems, contradictions, assumptions, and unanswered questions. Maybe you've seen a flat earth conspiracy video.
Okay, I'm gonna skip ahead to like the actual question that Holy Kool-Aid has here. Let's see.
Is this to those who expect to see some kind of curvature on a globular Earth with their eyes? What exact kind of curvature are you expecting to see? If you're talking about the kind of curvature that goes away from us and over the horizon, then that would be indiscernible. It would look the same as a flat Earth because you can't see things that are under the horizon.
I am very generous with spanners. Yes, I am also not surprised that the only people who shut up are people with spanners because, you know, I've been gone for a while. Like, this is no surprise.
If you're talking about a kind of curvature where if you were to follow the horizon from left to right, that you would see some kind of curvature downwards, just follow that to its logical conclusion. Do a 360 spin on the spot. Where does that horizon end up? It wouldn't match up to where you started, so that makes no sense whatsoever either. Even if you were high enough up to see some kind of curvature, all it would be is looking down and seeing the entire Earth beneath you, and any globe from one particular point of view, because of perspective, is indistinguishable from a flat disk. In other words, nobody has ever claimed that the kind of curvature you're expecting to see is what you would expect to see on a globular Earth, or even that it's possible. Although I will say that it's a damn sight more possible than a flat Earth.
Oh, look.
So, I'm gonna have to, Alex O'Connor in general, God. I don't want to talk about the atheist community, but goddamn, every time I log on to Twitter, I'm like, what is wrong with all of you? All of you, all the time, just 100% fucking it up. So I think Alex O'Connor has also been he's been promoting, if I remember right, some right-wing conspiracy weird, or just some right-wing people, some like weird conservative people. If I remember right, he's been doing that. Like he was, I forget what show he was on fairly recently, and he was like, "Oh, I love being on the show with these people and whatnots," which really just speaks to like what a lot of the atheist community do, which is just kind of promote each other. But it's like, a lot of those people are kind of nasty people, and you probably shouldn't be happy to be spending time with them, or the fact that they're promoting you. Like those are two things you should not be very happy about. But yes, so besides that, I think Alex kind of set himself up to fail here a little bit, because Alex made the mistake. Alex made the mistake of being like, "Hey, nobody ever says this," which is unfortunate because someone out there probably does say the things. Like somebody out there probably does say, if you go up in an airplane, you can see the curvature, or if you go up so high, you can see the curvature. Because somebody says that, right? Because the internet is a big old white place with people who aren't, who don't know everything, and that's fine. It's a place, right? But people will say these things, and so it's not really like a big surprise that someone's going to say that, which kind of sucks that like he worded it that way, because he's gonna end up being wrong. And they, knowing Jeranism and his crew, they're gonna take that. They're gonna give him an inch. They take a mile. That's exactly what they're gonna do. You can see the back and forth, you can see the back and forth curve on the clouds and whatnot, if you know what you're looking for. Difference from what they look on flat plane. Yes. So this is a fun video. Again, God, I've talked about this so much time. Quick shit on German beer. Oh, I mean, you don't have to. You just have to taste it. They would feel the earth spinning. Yes. That one's a good one. That was actually probably one that nobody has claimed. But yes, this video, God, we talked about wide-eye lenses and stuff like consistently. And for whatever reason, Jeranism and crew think that like GoPros are in like conspiracy with like to prove that the earth isn't flat, and like the only reason that GoPros have a wide angle lens is because they want to show a curve rather than like surfers want to get a good shot of them like surfing, which is hilarious. Like that's it's such a silly take to be like, hey, this is the only reason that people want wide angle lenses rather than the reason why people want wide angle lenses, which is that you like can see more. It's got a wide angle which lets you see more. Imagine that as a thing that you do. All right.
Look at this curvature of the earth. Oh my goodness. What was that you said, Alex? That nobody has ever made this claim? I don't think so, Alex.
And I just thought the part that what he had to say at the beginning when he's talking about what can happen if you don't have a scientific mindset and you might be fooled by a magician, which is true. And what happens if you have a scientific mindset is you fail to realize that the people who taught you the science are magicians. And
like oh God. I love this. I haven't laughed this hard in a while. No, that's a lie. But I've forgotten about this. I really have forgotten about how the silliness of flat earthers and the very people who have taught you, they are the lie. Like God, the things that you have to tell yourself to be a flat earther still amaze me. Like why? Like you got to tell yourself that everything that you've been taught has to be a lie in order to believe that the earth is flat, which really, like, you're taking skepticism to such an unrealistic point where all you can do is be like, everything must be a lie, or I can't hold on to my worldview, which really is the opposite of skepticism.
That they write things in books and they write numbers and the mathematics work out, and you go around telling everybody that it's true, and yet basically of every astrophysicist there's ever been, how many of them have been to space? Zero. Maybe one, maybe two.
Everyone except for me is lying to you. Exactly. Like everything, every institute, every scientific everything out there is has to be lying to you. Like in order for the earth to be flat, everyone ever has to be lying to you. and somehow it is only these YouTubers, which you can buy their merch on their website, are the only ones telling you the truth. Only they are, right? You don't listen to anyone else, which it's so funny because they're always like, do your own research and stuff, but don't question us. Question absolutely everyone else, but do not question us, which I hope the whole point of skepticism, I swear to God, skepticism, it works. I've said this like numerous times. Good skepticism has two steps, and everyone seems to forget the second step. The first step is question things like, hey, why this, why that, why whatever. The second thing is accepting it when the answer has been given to you, right? Like, and sometimes those truths are uncomfortable, and that's okay. You have to change your mind, and that's not a good feeling. But that's the second step. You can't have skepticism on just with one of them, because otherwise you end up being Jaredism. You end up being somebody, you end up being even prominent atheists or prominent skeptics out there who question everything and have honestly questioned everything to the point where their brains have fallen out. Like I think Richard Dawkins is an absolutely fantastic example of that, who took his skepticism to the extreme and was just like, no, I'm going to be skeptic of everything, to the point where like he believes in weird bullshit now. And there's plenty of other people like that who have gone so far off the deep end with their skepticism. They are the ones believing in weird conspiracy theories and weird. There just happen to be weird conspiracy theories about not science, which also tells you a whole lot. Not that you can't find them out about science, but it really also goes to show you a whole lot. Like, they should probably stay in their lane about these things. Like, when it comes to evolution and shit like that, like Richard Dawkins, stay in your lane about that. But the moment that it's about something else, like, damn, he's a fucking idiot. Like, goddamn, he's stupid. But he doesn't stay in his lane, and he wants to talk like an expert about these things, and just fails to apply his skepticism like he should. Whereas, like, I have questions about this. Oh, here are the answers. There, you got your answers. And rather, he refuses to listen to the answers. It's crazy. I swear, tangents again, more and more tangents. The last couple of years have really been an eye-opener about, and I talked about this so many times, about the atheist community, the skeptic community, and skepticism, atheism, and all that jazz, because it really has been that, like, the lot of people who I greatly admire all just started buying into a whole lot of bullshit. I was listening to Chrissy rant about this yesterday after our D&D game, where she was talking about ContraPoints, which is, and I'm not sure if she's a skeptic or an atheist or whatever her deal is, but about like how early on she really did like a whole lot about, like, with her videos are very much so evidence-based, and like not just evidence-based, but like about content that mattered. And more recently, she's been doing like podcasts and shows where she sits around and talks about like lighting and cancel culture and shit like that. And you're just like, what happened? And the same thing again is, it's true in the atheist community, where people are like, people seriously talk about cancel culture as if it isn't anti-Semitism hidden, like what it is, right? It's disappointing. I've been disappointed. My feelings are hurt because of it. I just have, and this has nothing to do with flat Earth. Just my own general disappointment in the community that I was once part of. Here we go.
So you're talking about people falling for things and falling for tricks. I mean, you believe that mathematics proves reality, that nobody's measured the distance to the sun, nobody's measured the size of Saturn. You just believe because mathematically it works out that it must be true. And again, you can mathematically show anything on paper, and it could be completely false.
So I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. It's true. So this is something that they say, like right, as if all of these numbers are arbitrary, right? Like as if the distance to the sun is arbitrary, as if the distance to the moon is arbitrary. And there is like, oh, you haven't proved that. The thing that always gets to me about that is that If these distances were incorrect, right? Like these maths aren't, the maths that are used for this aren't in their own little bubble somewhere. You don't just say the sun is X distance away and you just leave it there, right? Like you never touch it again. That's where it. That number gets used. It can be used and is used in all sorts of things, like figuring out rotations of celestial bodies around our solar system. So they get used for figuring out how fast things are moving, where things are going to be, to the point where you can, especially nowadays, you can get apps to look up where planets are going to be in the sky in that night, right? You can get an app that you can point up to the sky and it'll show you where you should be able to see Saturn, where you should be able to see Mars, where you should be able to see Venus and all that, the moon and the certain stars and all that. And all of that relies on the fact that the math about the distance between Earth and the sun, the circumference and all that is all correct. And that's what it relies on. So, like, yes, nobody has and nobody will take a fucking yardstick between here and the sun and show that it is exactly that many miles. No one's gonna do that. But using the number that we say we do does actually show consistent and reliable results, which is a good reason why you should maybe trust. Like, it has proven itself to be correct. Okay. I think it comes down to COVID and somewhat everyone going to echo chambers or force kicks on YouTube to be rabbit holes to conspiracy theory. So one of the things that I have noticed is for when I first started this channel, when I first started doing this shit, going down a rabbit hole was really easy. And I personal experience, I don't know all that. Take that with all the salt in the world. When I first started doing research on flat earth stuff, like, I went down a rabbit hole and it was super easy. Like, YouTube was like, you watch this video, you watch this one. You watch Eric Dubay video, watch Wakey Wakey. You watch Wakey Wakey, watch Jeranism. You watch Jeranism, watch Mr. Thrive and Survive. And it was just like immediate rabbit hole. And a bit ago, I want to say a year and a half, something like that, it changed. It stopped being so easy to get into these rabbit holes, which I feel like YouTube changed their algorithm or whatnot so that you didn't go into these rabbit holes. At least not so easily. Like, you still can, you definitely still can, but I like, even finding content for today was more difficult than it used to be. Where before I would just look up Jeranism, click on a Jeranism video, and then look at the recommendations and be like, haha, more nonsense. It's kind of stopped. So that's kind of been what I feel like has probably happened. Have people become more insular during COVID? Probably. Have people been spending way more time on the internet since COVID? Oh, 100% correct. So I'm sure that helps out. Anti-Semitism is the most intellectual, deficient, and morally corrupt of all prejudices. It really is. Yes, and I'm gonna say a while ago I had a conversation with Eliana about anti-Semitic. Well, not anti-Semitic. So one of the things that has happened is things like cultural Marxist, cancel culture, things like that. They're just anti-Semitism and new rapping. It's the same nonsense of like world, like the Jews are controlling everything. Not gonna, like, that's end of the day. That's what it is. The Jews are controlling everything. That's what cancel culture is. That's what culture Marxism is. There is a cabal out there that is controlling absolutely everything. It's always anti-Semitism because, of course, it's always anti-Semitism. What else is it going to be? So it is entirely morally bankrupt. It is. We've been through it so many times. There's no reason to buy into it at all. Okay. So, Rhetoric and Discourse, you could get apps for that since forever. I once had a flurf on who thought it was a super recent innovation, so I used an old DOS program from 1991 to show the eclipse. Oh, neat. Yeah. Like, it's definitely, like, the accuracy of it is definitely the thing that gets me. Like, it's so accurate, right? But you can't trust on the people who come up with these numbers because Jeranism says so. Ugh. All right, we'll listen to a little bit more of this. We're getting close to the end of the show. Oh my goodness, we almost made it through a show.
Could show a whole city and how it mathematically lays out and how many square miles it is and who owns what property. And it could all be completely and totally fake. So just saying.
If you honestly want to believe that the Earth is
Cyrus!
flat,
Oh no, it's Cyrus! Oh no! I want to say so much about him. Oh, Cyrus. I was on Fluid Voice like a year ago. And Cyrus got brought up because Cyrus got super pissed. God, this has nothing to do with anything, but he just pissed me off. Oh, he pissed me off so much. He got really pissy because somebody tweeted out like, God, them just being like, it was I think like a trans woman who was just like pissed and said something around, or maybe it was just a woman, like, not because it doesn't matter, but like a woman who was just pissed about men. It's like, we need it, like, men are just awful. I'm tired of them. Like, you cannot convince me that we need to have men in our culture, which very much so came off like the tweet when I read it very much came off like, you are pissed, and probably for something reasonable, because men are fucking stupid, and I get it. Like, I didn't know. I don't follow Cyrus. Cyrus, I didn't notice that they were getting a little bit. Okay, cool. Am I misgendering? I don't mean to. I'm sorry, Cyrus, if I'm misgendering you. I don't mean to. I don't keep up with you, so I don't really know what you're doing anymore. This video I think is from like a while ago. Oh, his avatar does? Okay. Yeah, no, his avatar does. I think this is from 2018, so it's like a 3-year-old video. But yes, so Cyrus got really like mad about it, and he was like, oh no, like, I can't believe that like you would just not want to change people's minds, and just took it very personally that somebody was like, I'm tired of men, which is such a Cyrus thing to do. Like, buddy, it's fine. Like, this is just a person who was really angry about something that happened, and she lashed out and was just like, no, I'm tired of this, and that's it. Like, like, just it's okay. It's not all about you, bud.
I'm not going to stop you, but I would like to ask, if you want to convince any of us, especially those of us that are at least moderately science-minded, could you please provide a working model?
No, have a model. You don't have a model. Lack of a model.
A full-scale working model.
Not gonna lie, that was actually kind of funny. I'm gonna rewatch that because it was really funny. Aaron Ross saying model over and over again. Okay, that was funny. I love it. Okay, I love this.
Model.
No, have a model. You don't have a model. Lack of a model.
A full-scale.
Okay, that is fair. We do say model a lot. And we really should be showing half-naked women instead of models. That'd be a better use of our time, because honestly, I'd rather watch that than Aaron Raw. That's a good one. Good job, Jaronism. You gave me a giggle. 3 internet points for you for making me giggle.
Working model of the flat Earth.
You have no model, you have no facts, you have no evidence, but
with accurate.
The butt joke. Oh no! They stole my joke. They stole my joke, and I'm not. Sorry, they stole my joke. Wow, goodness.
Predictions and measurements.
No, I'm not gonna say it.
That follow through on that scale. And no, I don't mean the UN map.
It's just frustrating because you hear things like this, and it's again, they don't understand that if there was a bunch of people who believed in a flat Earth and they made observations of the sky, they could easily have predictions for every eclipse and every astronomical event. And then here comes Newton and his crew, and they, start promoting the.
You just have to have it. You don't even have it. Like, it's not. It really. God, I'm gonna sound like Aaron Ron. I hate the fact that I'm gonna sound like Aaron Ron. Like, all you gotta do is make a prediction. That's it. Like, honestly, there are certain things that will definitely prove that we are on a flat Earth, and one of them is going to be that you can make predictions based on your data that accurately predict events in the future. In the same way that I just talked about how we have apps that tell you where like all the stars and shit and whatnots are, you can do the same thing, and you should be able to do the same thing with accuracy if the flat Earth is correct. It doesn't really, like, your excuse is just like, we don't want to do it because people are gonna show up and disagree with us. Like, you already say random ass shit on YouTube. That hasn't stopped you. The fact that people show up and tell you that you're wrong on a consistent basis hasn't stopped you from saying more wrong things. Why is it all of a sudden going to be like, now we're going to stop you? Like, Jaredism, how many subscribers do you have? Like, do it. Do the thing. Do that. And yes, you'll have people who are going to be like, no, you are wrong. But you already have those people. So what do you have to lose? Like, you're not going to lose your dignity. You already lost that. You're not going to... People are going to prove you wrong? Like, no shit. People have been doing that for a while. Like, nothing new here, buddy. I am not saying it. Newton and his crew sounds like an amazing music band. It's a good rock band. Newton and his crew. They would play... What would they play? Newton and his crew. Definitely heavy metal, because heavy and metal. I am terrible. Fire me.
Ball Earth and everything else.
It's Aristophanes and his crew. That's definitely that's like a modern day like string quartet. That's what that is. A modern day string quartet.
Well, then you've got now these observations being placed onto a ball, and then you've got these guys saying, "Oh, you need to come up with the observations are the observations," which is why they have to have that one guy from NASA who does all their eclipse data, because they have to go back to before when people were flat earthers to pull that data. It's like people don't realize that every single discovery, every expedition, every map, every mission, everything that was ever done of any substance, really, any discovery or land survey has all been done by the government.
Oh no. Again, buddy, you're so missing the point. Like, I don't... Just do it. Like, just do it. That's all you gotta do. Also, I checked out, you're not misgendering Cirrus. Good.
So
I would feel bad if I was. I don't like Cirrus, but I don't need to be an asshole. I mean, not in that way. But you're gonna fall. Where are you even going? What are you even doing? Your head is falling off.
Why would they think that a bunch of flat earthers could get together and do what the governments took years and years to do? I mean, just to map coastlines and just to send people down to the Southern Ocean took years and hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars at that time, which would be billions today. So how could you expect us to do anything close to that? Our goal was not to do that. Our goal was to get enough people on Earth to realize they've been lied to, at which point they will force their governments, who are using our money, to do these expeditions again and to fix what they effed up.
So I'm trying to think. So I'm trying to think of a good example of this, because science has been wrong in the past. It's not like science has always been correct, and it still isn't, right? Like, we're gonna find out whatever the fuck we're doing now is wrong, and that's fine. That's part of the whole dealio. But in the past, it's not like it's been. Ooh, hi, bud. Okay, we're super stretchy. Oh, it's not like in the past it's been like governments turning around and being like, oh, we were super wrong. Like, it really has been expeditions to where I really just predict an eclipse. And maybe it will take you a whole lot of data, and maybe it will, but you have so many people backing you up, right? Like, how much money did you raise for that stupid laser thing, right? Like, you can clearly raise money. You can clearly do all the things that you need to do to make money. Fund your own research on this, right? Like, you can do that. Somebody screen grab R&D looking at his lap and saying, "What are you doing? Your head is going to fall." That's a good one, honestly. Somebody should do that. It's a good one. All right, Bud. Okay. Hey. Okay, I know you're having fun, but you gotta.
So I recognize that mathematics is not proof of anything, and that when you look back at the speed of light, and you look back at the distance to the sun, and you look back at the weight of the earth, look into those things and find out how they got those answers, and they never got them.
Again, there's like, Cirrus asked a very, very basic. Well, Cirrus, I guess, did go a little overboard with like, give me a map or whatever. I don't even want that, honestly. Just predict the next sunset. Honestly, use your math and show me your work and predict your next sunset. Predict the next moonrise. Do that with your math and show your work about how your math gets you there. That's a fucking step, right? Like, it doesn't even have to be anything that complicated. Something that's simple, do that. The other thing to do is predict like moon phases, predict eclipses, solar or lunar eclipses, predict them, and show your work, right? Show your work as to how your known distances to the moon or the sun or whatever, like the angles or whatnot. Show me how that worked out for you. If you can do that, great, fantastic. You get an A+. Good job.
They simply were mathematic equations, and somebody told somebody, here, go get this result out of a test with light, and here, go get this result out of your shed, Cavendish, and Foucault, go do this. And that's all that they did. And it's simply not proof of anything. You can't just take little lights in front of the sun and say, okay, well, we know now with this angle that, no, you have to have something that's concrete first, and they don't have any of that.
Again, oh God. This is going to be my last comment on this. If they didn't have anything concrete, then it wouldn't work. It's that simple. This wouldn't work. If you have something concrete, then it should work. If you have something demonstratable, it should work. That's really the whole point. All right. So with that said, we got about 2 minutes, so we're gonna end this here. Thank you everyone for coming back. I'm gonna try to do this every week like I used to. Here is going for me being good, and whatnots. So thank you all for being here. I do truly appreciate it. We'll have another beer of the week. Maybe I'll be better prepared. Probably still have a cat being a nuisance and all that stuff everywhere. But for now, thank you everyone. Have yourselves a good weekend, and I'll see you all next time.